out of control and risking lives. A car zooms past a truck rollover scene, police hot on its trail.
A driver completely disregarded police.
Clouds of smoke, screeching tyres. And a stack of hair-raising action on and off the pad. Summonats has a desire to be different. This year's festival overhaul has lured the petrol heads in droves.
There's always more to be done, but we're really happy with where we're going.
The lengths these people have gone to in growing and grooming are in some cases extreme. Meet 3-year-old Ryder Choice and mum Jade. Choice by name, but not by haircut.
He's had it since birth.
Others have very different motivations.
The girls love it, mate.
Ian Kenny's pride and joy is this 1928 Bentley. It's been in his possession for nearly 3 decades.
I like to see the long bonnet aiming down the road. It makes a great sound. I just love everything about it.
In 2019, the brand is celebrating a century of car creation.
Well, this will be my first folk festival here in Canberra with the National Folk Fest.
Staff at the museum have reported hearing footsteps, their names being called and doors opening and closing. For those who are brave enough, the tours run every Thursday throughout January. I even received my own bravery certificate at the end of the tour. Lewis Haskew, Win News.
Wearing hard hats and high vis, federal, state and local politicians viewed progress this afternoon.
The reality is that the majority of Queensland support it and want it, but we take into account the issues that residents may be.
Several intersections will be upgraded, including at Wickerslack Lane and Tempe Crescent. There'll also be 2.5 metres of bike lanes.
A lot of
the project is expected to use up to 100 workers and be completed late next year. Michael Hammond, Win News. Parts of the roof and ceiling also collapsed. What sparked this fire is still unclear, with the cause at this stage being treated as suspicious. Residents here are no doubt breathing a sigh of relief tonight.
A baby boom at the National Zoo and Aquarium. The facility has welcomed a menagerie of meerkats, a litter of lemurs and a furry foal who is yet to be named. Ruffed lemurs just a few weeks old are becoming more adventurous, not shy of human contact. I was lucky enough to step inside the enclosure. Of the baby lemurs is extremely exciting. The population of the endangered species. As the sun set on Canberra over the weekend, thousands of people took advantage of the warm autumn evenings to absorb the start of this year's Enlighten Festival. First weekend proved to be popular across all aspects of the event. Vendors at the night noodle markets run off their feet to serve a hungry community ready to feast on cuisines from all corners of the globe. These gravity-defying noodles, a new addition to the menu, which curious Canberrans were keen to taste.
I have food envy, really, when I saw them.
You can see the parliamentary triangle come to life right up until the 11th of March. For more information, jump online. Alison Hatley, Win News. Susan has been a flight nurse in Western Australia with the service for over a decade and says this jet is twice as fast as the current PC-12s.
So for the patients who are in the northwest particularly,
it allows the medical crew to perform all the necessary interventions needed to stabilise a patient. PC-24s will service Western Australia, South Australia and the Northern Territory over the next few months, with hopes to then expand the aircraft across the rest of the country.
Components here of what will be really the nerve centre of Canberra's light rail now and into the future.
The HQ certainly appears to have all the necessary high-tech bells and whistles, including 24/7 staffing and real-time monitoring of every stop, light rail vehicle and employee. And while the trams can't be controlled from here, they do incorporate a so-called dead man's switch, limiting travel distance when a driver's non-response in case of a medical episode, for example, is detected.
but also downstream into the Murray-Darling Basin region as well.
Work has commenced on 3 new sites in the inner south as part of the ACT Healthy Waterways project, a $93.5 million joint initiative between the federal and territory government aiming to improve the quality of water entering our catchments and waterways.
It used to be a regular recreational activity, and it seems that happens a lot less.
2 of the city's major Aboriginal controlled organisations, Wananga and Youth Hub Guggengoolwin, only too happy to help James Milligan officially launch his party's plan for closing the gap in the ACT, given their persistent concerns surrounding current outcomes, including the country's highest rates of Indigenous incarceration and Indigenous kids in out-of-home care. Mr Milligan similarly wants more information.
We don't even know how they're going to achieve.
Dad's a big support. He drives me everywhere I need to be.
McGrath West also spends plenty of time on the road, making multiple trips from Hardin each week.
For pre-season we got together 3 times a week. At the moment it's 2 plus the Saturday for the game.
But both girls say it's worth it to have a chance to play league.
It's always challenging and the girls are always pushing it, like keeping me on my game. These young ones coming up.
I know it's going to be packed with orange, so I can't wait to come down here.
It's a huge space situated in the new open range precinct, which took over a year to construct, and it's different to your average playground with discovery trails and educational aspects. Chief Minister saying it'll bring people from all over the country.
It adds, I guess, another dimension to this as a tourist attraction, but also...
The facility is expecting families to flock there to escape the heat. 17 years the organisations have been located inside of Woden Library, but the time has come to leave the nest.
We're 96% full at Woden.
ACT's Heritage Library holds a wealth of information, storing everything that documents the history and development of the territory.
We collect books, reports, magazines and journals and newspapers. So we have about 100,000 of those at the moment, and we add about